The holiday season is over, and for many folks who purchased a real tree, you might be wondering what you can do with it now that can benefit others, maybe the environment. Well, Surfside Beach is in need of Christmas trees. We received this click-to pins from Michelle asking for people to donate their Christmas trees to help rebuild the dunes along the coastline. Joining us right now is President of Save Our Beach Association in Surfside, Robert Booth. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Zach. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk to us. Tell us about how this works, how long it's been going on, and what people need to know who want to donate their trees.
So the Save Our Beach Association was formed 50 years ago last year in 1973, and there aren't many people around that can remember, but as long as anybody can remember, we've been using Christmas trees to rebuild the dunes. For a lot of people at home, I'm sure they're like you were saying, that they've spent $75 to $100 for a Christmas tree, and now they're faced with the idea of throwing it into a landfill. We've got something that you can actually do that will help the environment, help the beach, and help actually preserve a bit of Texas. We have a lot of erosion going on down here.
Yeah.
And Christmas trees help us rebuild the dunes, which help us push the beach further out into the Gulf.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I lived in Florida for several years. I now live here in Texas, obviously. The coastline is something that is of concern for so many folks. It should be a concern for all of us. I know you sent us a few photos. We just saw those photos, and you can see the Christmas trees sticking out. And I can't help but wonder, if it weren't for those trees that had been put there throughout the past several years, that erosion would be a lot worse than what it is now, all thanks to these trees.
Yes, we actually have two programs that we work on. They work together. The first one is the Christmas trees. It's kind of a form of permaculture gardening, actually. The trees are beautiful. They're some of the best trees in the world for catching the sand. The sand is picked up by the wind as singular grains. They hit the tree, and then those sand grains fall to the beach, and then they build up around the tree. The tree absorbs rainwater and holds it to when the sand around it dries out, it starts to release water into the sand. And that helps vegetation grow in the sand. And one of the best things for preserving a dune is live vegetation. And you can actually see some sea oats that we have planted around the Christmas trees. They're getting watered by the Christmas trees until the Christmas trees will compost into the sand, and then they provide organic material.
That's awesome. So it's twofold, really. This is really incredible. I know this has an impact on, obviously, people who live along the coastline, but it also impacts tourism.
Oh, yes. We are a big destination for day trippers in the summer. We have a lot of hotels and rental homes available down here. We're not the same scale as Galveston. We kind of like it that way. But we do have a good number of people who do come here for the beach. And those of us who live here are fortunate enough to be stewards of this beach for the state of Texas. And we try to do what we can to maintain it for everyone in the state of Texas.
Absolutely. Robert, talk to us about how people can donate. I know, the Houston Metro is a very large area. If you're living up in the Woodlands, you might not be able to make it down to the coastline. Is there a way for them to participate? Is there a collection happening? How can they get involved?
Well, there are other people that do use Christmas trees for other purposes besides us, and if this is too far for people to come, then I'd urge them to go and find one of them. If you're in Brazoria County, there are locations around Brazoria County that they collect the trees, and then we work together with the county. Surfside Beach is 4 miles of a 13-mile long island, Follett's Island. It's a barrier island off the coast of Texas. We take care of, on our group, our 4 miles, that is the city of Surfside Beach. The Brazoria County Parks Department takes care of the other 9 miles. So we have plenty of opportunities for trees. We have a lot of coast to cover, and so the county collects Christmas trees at several locations around Brazoria County. If you're in Pearland, there's a place where you can go drop off the tree there, and they'll end up down at the beach for us.
Before the show began, I was having my pre-show meeting with my producer, Sam, and we were talking about this effort, and she was telling me about Dunes Day. This is fascinating. How can people get involved? What is Dunes Day, and how can people volunteer and get involved with the events of the day?
Right. So the way that it works is that we collect the trees at the main entrance to Surfside Beach. To get to Surfside Beach, you take 288 south out of Houston. You drive through Lake Jackson and Clute, and then right before Freeport, you would take the exit to Surfside Beach. That's Highway 332. You stay on that. You go over a bridge. You come down to a light. We have one light in our town, and you go through the light, and then off to the left, you'll see where we're collecting the Christmas trees. If you just want to drop off a Christmas tree and maybe get some lunch or something, feel free. We'll be, and if you don't make the deadline that I'm about to talk about, don't worry about it. We've had people drop off trees as late as March, and no shame. And we've been happy to use them on the beach. So what happens then is on Thursday, January 18th, mostly a group of local people with trucks and trailers will pick up the trees from the main entrance, and then we'll place them in strategic locations in order to facilitate dune growth. We went and did a survey of the beach just not too long ago, identified about a dozen locations that we really think need these trees more than any other. So we'll pre-position the trees there on Thursday morning, and then on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. at Jetty Park in Surfside Beach, people can come down and show up with maybe a pair of gloves and a good attitude, and be ready to go out and stake the trees down. We use biodegradable twine and some wooden stakes that go into the ground, tie the trees together, tie them to the stakes, and that will hold them in place until the wind does its job and start anchoring them down with sand.
Yeah, sounds like great work. For anybody who is a critic of this effort, people who might say this is an eyesore, what would you say to those folks?
Well, more of an eyesore would be if this island was gone. Yeah. And what we're doing is help moving this island and keep this island from disappearing. To be melodramatic about it a little bit, a bigger eyesore would be if there were no beach. Yeah, and roads falling into the ocean, homes disappearing. You know, living again along the first coast in Florida, this is a problem that several miles of A1A completely gone at this point. It used to be a road, and now people need to take four-wheelers and side-by-sides just to get to their homes. And so I think this is wonderful work you're doing. It's work that people can get involved with. We so much appreciate what it is you're doing, what you will continue to do, and thank you so much for your time this morning, for coming on the show. Thank you. If anybody wants any more information, so search for Save Our Beach Association on Google or on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. We also have sobtx.org is our website. We're not looking for people money. We're actually looking for their Christmas trees and their help. Love it. Okay. We, of course, will put all of this information inside this article on our website. Click to Houston.com. Robert Booth, president of Save Our Beach Association in Surfside, thank you so much. Thank you, Zach, and thank you, Sam.